All right, what is up, guys? Today I am making my second favorite breakfast food of all time. Uh, it's French toast. My favorite breakfast food of all time is crepes, but I don't know how to make crepes, and I don't have the ingredients to make crepes. So we are making French toast. Now, I used to have a recipe I used, but I don't remember that recipe. I think it might have been my mom's recipe, which might have been like my grandma's recipe or something. She's got this little wooden box that's like a bunch of old recipes that are written on index cards, and every one of them is amazing. I don't have that wooden box here, but now that I'm thinking about it, I want to know if it's still back in Pittsburgh and I can bring that up here. We're going to start collecting our ingredients. One of the things that I started adding to a recipe, vanilla, right? I feel like this is the most overlooked thing in French toast. Fortunately, this one says it anyways, but I'd throw that in there. I'm utterly shocked at how many people don't have any vanilla in their French toast batter. So this looks almost identical to what I used to use, but this one has flour and sugar. I don't ever remember putting flour or sugar in this before. Um, I use powdered sugar at the end, though, so I'm not going to add the sugar. I put powdered sugar at the top as like a garnish and to add a little bit of the sweetness. I'm not going to add the sugar. I am going to wait. Do I not have flour? Okay, I have a little bit of flour. I forgot that I like let my mom take the flour to bake stuff when she was up here. And I saw this bin. I was like, from the top, it looked empty, you know? But we've got enough flour. We'll be fine. Uh we only need a tiny, tiny bit to thicken the batter. So we've got 1/4 cup. We've got plenty. I need a cup of milk. We've got milk, but the open milk is downstairs. I've got 2 gallons of milk because I like to eat a lot of cereal and I mix my protein shakes using milk. Unfortunately, I need to compare and see whether Aldi's milk or Giant Eagle's milk is cheaper. Um, I have to get the lactose free stuff. The I'm just gonna put this in the fridge for now, but it's up here. The nice thing about the Giant Eagle milk though is they actually have the gallons, whereas Aldi sells it in half gallons. Uh, Giant Eagle's half and half is cheaper. All right, so what else do I need? Here's the powdered sugar that I need. Um, Here's the extra sugar that I need. We'll show you that at the end. I've got 2 kinds of maple syrup. I don't know which one I'm going to use. We'll put that on at the end, but I do want to grab it now. We've got this like pure actual maple syrup, but here's the crazy thing. I don't necessarily like most real pure maple syrup. I don't know if this one's even open or no, this one isn't even open. I'm not gonna open it. The only time I really liked a real maple syrup, it was like a blackberry maple syrup, and that was so good. That was the best maple syrup I've ever had. We've got Anti Maples, which I think is the Aldi generic brand. It is. Butter flavored syrup. I love butter flavored syrups or syrup like things, it's a corn syrup. Fair enough. How many syrups are in here? There's at least two. There's corn syrup and high fructose corn syrup. And no more syrups, it looks like. But yeah, so that's what we'll be putting on the top. I don't think I'm gonna put butter on it because is this butter old? I think I need new butter. I have this Kerrygold, which is really good butter, but it's like semi-old. And I've got a half a stick. I have like flavored butters, but I don't want to use that on it. I think we just go butterless because we've got the butter flavored syrup anyways, right? I need three large eggs. I've got those. We don't need the sugar. 1 teaspoon vanilla extract. We have that. The ground cinnamon. Yes. Okay. And the bread, we'll get that in a sec. And a pinch of salt. This is something I've also never put. Where is the salt? There it is. We've got sea salt. I've also never put salt in the batter before. Now, before I went and actually became a line cook, I would have seen that and I would have been like, you know what? I'm leaving the salt out too. But I learned that salt, when you use just tiny amounts of it, is just a flavor enhancer. And you can't taste the salt at all. It just makes everything taste better. That's why so many things use a pinch of salt. And my nose is itchy and I keep touching my face, so I'm gonna have to wash my hands in a sec. But and just use the back of my sleeve to itch it from now on. You know, like I'm not preparing this food for anyone else, so if I give myself the shits, who cares, right? But regardless, it's just good habit. I wish I had a better whisk. I have this shitty whisk. It looks like baby's first whisk or whatever. I don't know. My first whisk. Y'all are probably too young to remember that shit. But there was like a series of plastic colorful items. And it was like my first blah blah blah. And there were anyways. What was it? Play? Why can't I remember the brand that did that? I'll feel so dumb when I actually see it. I think they had a really popular sandpit turtle. I know that because there's a Bring Me the Horizon meme about the song called Sempiternal, where people think he's singing Sandpit Turtle. Anyways, I probably don't need the actual directions. I just wanted to print out the ingredients because I don't exactly, like I said, have a ingredient list myself anymore. I didn't want to forget anything, nor did I know the exact amounts. Directions: gather all ingredients. Yep. Place flour into a large whisking bowl. So that's not how I generally do it. I'm gonna whisk it in my own order. So step 2 is just whisk eggs, flour, milk, sugar, vanilla, cinnamon, and salt, except minus the sugar. We're going to add that at the end. Step 3, heat a lightly oiled griddle or frying pan over medium heat. Meanwhile, soak bread slices in mixture until saturated. That's also not how I do it either, at least the soaking part. So soaking is such a funny word. By itself, it's not a funny word. But if you don't know why soaking is a funny word, just type it in on Urban Dictionary. Here's the bread. This is one of the two best breads to make French toast with. Cinnamon swirl bread, right? We've got really thick slices. It says it makes 12 slices. We have 5 slices, and that heel is thick enough to be 2 slices. So, since these are so thick, I feel like it should be about right, you know? And honestly, do I even have other bread? I have bagels and I have hot dog buns. I have blueberry English muffins. I think they look fine. They're kind of old, but I think they're fine. They're still moist, you know, they're not dry or anything. I kind of want to know what happens if I make a French toast English muffin. It's French and English at the same time. Anyways, working in batches, cook bread on the preheated griddle or pan. Oh, that's the other thing I want to do. That's fine. Serve hot and enjoy. You know I'm always serving it hot here. Cook's note. You can make recipe as a casserole-style French toast for an easy holiday breakfast. Assemble bread slices in a greased baking dish. Pour batter over and refrigerate overnight. Bake at 350 degrees for 40 to 50 minutes. I don't know why that said 400 in my brain. In the morning. Sprinkle some cinnamon sugar on top and broil for 2 to 3 minutes at the end. That sounds insane. I don't think I would even enjoy casserole style French toast. Like, don't get me wrong, I love a good casserole, but there are some things that should not be in a casserole, just like there are some things that should not be on a cob. My favorite casserole is green bean casserole. There was some good green bean casserole at Thanksgiving. Whoever made that, you're a boss, if any of my family sees this. The turkey, though. The smoked turkey. I have a cousin that has a smoker, and he just always makes the best food. Like, even when he doesn't use this. What are you staring at? I turned around and the cat just appeared and is staring me down. Even when he doesn't use the smoker, whatever he cooks just tastes amazing. He made like, what the fuck was the other thing he made for the Halloween party? He made something delicious for the Halloween party, but I can't remember what it was now. Anyways, I digress. So let's get this started. Oh, the one other thing. Now, historically, I've always used a frying pan, but this is the biggest frying pan I have, and these are pretty large slices of bread. It only fits one of them, which means I'd have to do each single piece of bread one at a time. So we're not doing that today. We are going to attempt something I've never quite done before. Oh God, the cat is going inside the cabinet. Don't do that, please, Charlie. Whatever, you're stuck in there now. It's your fault. Okay, he was smart enough to leave when I was closing the door. We're gonna do the electric skillet. I'm pretty sure I can fit 4 at a time on here. Definitely 3. I didn't really plan the counter space ahead very well, especially because I need to clean up the house a little bit. So we're gonna get this plugged in and first move everything that I literally just set here. And then once it's heating up, we'll start prepping the batter. Chill, Charlie. Yeah, I know. I'm busy at the moment. He just always wants to play. That's the only thing he wants to do at all hours of the day. Play, sleep, and eat. All right. So this thing's off first. Can you please just go in the hole? There it goes. All right. It doesn't say what temperature the power cord is turning the camera. I think it said lightly over medium heat. Okay, sounds good. It did say. The one downside of doing them all at once is I won't know if it's the right temperature. Especially with the thicker bread, it might take a moment or two to cook through. So let's go on the shallower side of medium. I don't know what medium technically is, but we're at like 225, or at least that's what it's set to, right? I probably don't need the glass on, right? Because I never use the glass when I do it with the frying pan. Do I even have a... Yeah, I have a spatula. I think this one is the partially melted one. Yeah. I don't know who did this, but someone melted the tips on this. They also laid it. Oh, I guess you can't really see. There's like a little... I don't know why it's all cruddy. It's just like an old... There's two little vertical lines where they laid it on some kind of hot rack or something. I think that's funny. Or maybe they set it on the edge of a pan or something. I don't know. I normally use metal spatulas, but you don't want to use a metal spatula on 99% of nonsticks. And that's a nonstick surface right there. You can see the heat from the, at least I can. I don't know if you guys can. You can see the heat from the coil heating it up. All right, so I can smell it too. It smells like dust. Maybe I should have wiped it out first. Oh well. We'll just add a little bit of protein, I guess. Is there protein in dust? There's protein in everything, right? So generally, you can use almost any kind of regular mixing bowl. I like finding some kind of bowl with a flat bottom. So ironically, I think this is a casserole dish. And I said I wasn't going to make French toast casserole. But I am making French toast in a casserole dish. So this is what we're going to pour our eggs and everything into. I personally have always started with the eggs and milk together and then whisked everything in later. I don't know why you would really start with the flour, but it's worth noting I'm not really a baker. I'm more of a cook. I used to grill things and fry things, and that was about it. Why is it like glitching out? Oh, it stopped. The light was going on and off, and it was making like a little electrical buzzing noise. It's a pretty cheap one. It's one of the ones that my parents got from the casino, I think. It's by a brand called Continental, which I've never heard of before. Usually, when I Google those casino brands, it's like, yeah, this is some white label stuff, you know. All right, wash the hands. Let me do that. Okay, so now I gotta not touch my face anymore, or you, Charlie. All right, eggs. We need 3 of them, and hopefully they're all still good. Do they even have expiration dates on them? I feel like they should, right? Everything should have an expiration date. They do have an expiration date, and let's just say it's been a minute. So this is what we're gonna do. I didn't even realize it's been this long. When did she get these? Um, I need a bowl. I need a clean bowl. I don't know if I have another clean bowl. Okay. You know, this might work even better. I have a little Pyrex dish, and then I have my soup bowl. I think we go with the Pyrex dish. So here's the thing. There are 2 ways to tell if eggs are still good, as far as I'm aware. There may be more, but I don't know about the other ways. The 2 ways are you can put them in water and see if they float. And I think if they float, they're probably bad, but if they don't float, then you don't know. So I just skip the floating part and I go to the 100% certain way, and that's using my massive honking nose, right? The best way to tell if eggs are still good, I think you can like shine a flashlight through them too, now that I think about it. The best way to tell if eggs are still good is to crack them and see if they smell. So, they generally have no smell whatsoever. If they smell like bad eggs, they're bad eggs. It's that simple. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna crack each one individually in this dish, and if it's bad, we'll dump it out. If it's good, we'll add it to the bowl. So here goes egg number 1. Dude, I'm actually surprised. I have not cracked eggs in like a year, and that was a perfect crack, but I forgot to get the garbage can out here. Okay, garbage can. How's this one smell? It doesn't smell like anything. It's good to go. Egg number 2. There we go. I don't think the edge is actually sharp enough. It's kind of like a flat, wide brim. I think the casserole dish would make a better edge to crack these on. But then I might accidentally get rotten egg in the casserole dish, and that's not part of the plan. No smell whatsoever. Good to go. All right, we need 1 more. I think I can probably just crack this one on the edge of the stove. Oh yeah, way better. That was perfect. Kind of. I didn't hit it hard enough. So I got to peel a little bit. Let's not get any of those pieces of egg in there. I don't know about this one. It's kind of gooey. Let's see. How does it smell? No smell whatsoever. So I think we are good to go. So there's our 3 eggs. Let's put this in the sink. Let's just rinse that off real quick and throw this up here. Put the eggs back immediately so they last as long as possible. I'm going to be doing another one of those videos soon because I want to use those up. I have a plan for those. One of them looks darker than the other. I guess if I end up shitting my brains out tonight, we'll know that the eggs, or at least that dark one, was bad, right? So I'm just going to do a tiny bit of little whisking and break up the eggs. It didn't smell bad, so I'm just gonna keep going. It might be on the verge of going bad, but isn't bad yet, which means it's the perfect time to use it. So, yeah, what's up, Charlie? I need a cup of milk. Actually, I should do. All right. This is a cup, I think. Yeah. And then I need a quarter cup. Do I have a quarter cup? That's a 3/4 cup. That's a 1/3 cup. That's going to be way too big. Oh, I found the strainer I was looking for the other day. I was looking for the strainer for a previous video, and I just couldn't find it. But now I know where it is. That's a 1/2 cup. I don't have a 1/4 cup. Is there a 1/4 cup on this guy? 1/3 is the smallest. So I think we're just gonna use the 1/3 cup. Or no, better idea. What's that? Where'd the 1/2 cup go? There it is. 1/2 cup. And we're gonna do half of a 1/2 cup of flour. And that should be almost exactly how much we need. Let's do the 1 cup of milk first. Pour it over the thing so if it goes over. And all right. So I'm going to whisk those together real quick. Not like a lot, just enough to get them kind of mixed up, and then I'll worry about smoothing it all out once we get everything in there, you know. The flour, we need half a cup. So we're skipping the sugar. We've got the vanilla and the cinnamon and the salt. Where'd the cinnamon go? There's the cinnamon. All right. And then these two are garnish at the end. All right. So let's get our half a cup of flour. Flour smells kind of good. I don't know why. Now it looks like about half a cup to me. It's maybe a little less, but I'd rather have too little than too much. Normally, I always just did this without flour, but the flour is supposed to make it fluffy. Fluffy sounds good. All right, put the flour away real quick. Kind of. I didn't put it all the way away. Put it close to all the way away, but not entirely. All right, so I'm going to mix in the flour a little bit before I add any more dry stuff, you know? I think that's probably why they tell you to do the flour first, because they don't want you to throw in too many dry things at the same time, because throwing cinnamon and flour at the same time will definitely cause clumps that are really hard to get rid of. All right, that's pretty uniform. It doesn't need to be perfect yet. We'll do our final whisk once everything. So we need a teaspoon vanilla extract. I don't think I have measuring spoons, to be honest. Let me check. It's not looking good. All right. I don't have measuring spoons, so we're just gonna eyeball it. I think that's all we need right there. And some of the yolk doesn't want to, we haven't really done heavy whisking yet, you know? So that, the yolk doesn't split up with the heavy whisking, I think that's one of the things I don't like about this whisk too, because it's got that like rubber coating on it. It doesn't seem to whisk as well, but maybe that's just my brain playing with me, you know? We've got, it says half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. We don't really need cinnamon because that should be about a pinch of salt. We don't really need cinnamon because we're doing cinnamon bread, but I still like to add a little bit of cinnamon just because it creates like a textured look to the batter where you get a little cinnamon splotches, not like actual splotches. If you have splotches, it's too much cinnamon. Just like little cinnamon sprinkles throughout it, you know? So let's go ahead, whisk that up. Now we should do the actual whisking. This is the part where my arm is gonna cramp up because I don't remember the last time I whisked something. It was probably a year ago. And while I used to have much more developed forearms than I do now from endless masturbation, from work, I worked both as a maintenance man and then a line cook. And no, I did some landscaping too, but that wasn't really the forearms. That was more like the back. That's what hurt from landscaping. It was my back and like my legs. Like the quads and the thighs, the glutes. All right. I can't really see if we got all the yolk yet, but I think this is pretty thoroughly whisked, where to the point where we're starting to get bubbles, and you don't really want to go after that. I think, again, I'm not a baker. This is just what I remember. So we've got, looking right there, you see how kind of adds like a little bit of texture instead of just being flat. So don't need this over here, don't need any of this over here. Let's get it all out of the way. The skillet should be ready, but we didn't butter it yet. I'm not going to use actual butter. I'm just going to do quick little, oops, turn the fan on. It keeps going, it keeps flickering. I think I might need to get a new skillet. We're just gonna use the spray real quick, especially since it says just light butter. Just give it a quick dusting. The batter does the trick itself a little bit. All right, so what we do here is we stop touching our face, but I'm not gonna worry about scratching once, especially because I'm making it for myself. So we just can I fit 4? I can definitely fit 2, which is one more than the other one can. So it's a little dry, kind of starting to get a bit stale, but I'm pretty sure that's the whole reason why French toast was invented in the first place. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but it seemed, I'm pretty sure it was made just so that people could use up old bread before it went bad. So we're gonna put it in there, hold it under for a couple seconds. I'm gonna move this whole thing closer to the skittle. And then once it's nice and drenched in the stuff, we just drip it off a little bit and throw it right in there. It's not sizzling. It should have sizzled immediately. Maybe we switch back to the pan and I just cook them one at a time. Okay. Let me wash off my hand real quick. I'm not really set up to turn the stove on. There's too many things next to it that could melt or burn. Including the things that we just put here to use for this. All right. I think we're good, kinda. I don't think the skillet's exactly working right, because the light will keep flickering. It should have been hot by now, right? It's starting to sizzle a little bit. Maybe if I just crank it to the max, because maybe medium temperature is similar to the max on this, or we'll go to the low end of hot. It is starting to sizzle a little. I don't need this in my hand right now. I don't need any of these things. All right, let's get this, move this over a little bit further, get it away from the flame. Oh, I can smell it cooking now. So I'm just gonna put it on 7 for now to get it to heat up kind of quickly. Do I flip this yet is the question. We're gonna just let this next one soak for a bit. I don't want to push it down yet though. I wonder if it'll sink and slowly absorb in. But the other one looks like it's ready to, I keep touching my face. It's weird how you lose those habits, you know? When I was a line cook, it would never happen. It's a little undercooked. Also unevenly cooked. Oh my God, it smells so good though. It just like instantly hit me, the vanilla smell, once I flipped it. It's a little undercooked, but you can see it's also cooking unevenly. There's a line there, which is gonna be under the coil. So honestly, I don't even want to use this anymore for these. We're gonna switch over to this regular pan. Once it's good and hot, I'll cook them one by one. Where's the spray? There we go. I thought about using the avocado coconut spray on this instead of the butter spray, but I didn't want to go too hard on it. You know what? We'll do that with the last one, with the heel, all right? All right, so there's the butter pan. I don't know what to do while I wait for the butter pan to get hot. We got this one over there cooking. Where's my plate? There's my plate. My garnishes are right there. No, they're not. One's there. I don't know where the other one is. The other one's over here. Let me move a few more things. Give me a second. I need to look at like other people's cooking content and like learn what they do with their camera. I'm sure most of them probably just have like a full camera setup that shows their whole kitchen or something like that. But we don't have that. So we're just working with what we have. I'm just gonna crank this pan to max temp to actually get it hot because it's nowhere near hot yet. The butter is just sitting there. All right, we need this. We need this. Is this even open yet? Nope. Oh, it smells really good. I took like a little bit of a risk with this. Okay. It's cooking a little more even now because I moved it directly to the center. Still a little undercooked though. So we'll give that, okay, there we go. The butter's starting to brown, so that means it's hot. I can turn this down to medium heat. And then we will squish the next guy and throw it in there. Now I'm gonna move the bowl closer to this side. The less of this we drip all over the less of this we drip all over the stove, the better, you know? Let's clean up for me later. This one is going to be the most drenched of all of them because it was sitting there forever. Hopefully there's enough batter left for the other ones. It's just going to absorb all the batter. That's the sound you want to hear. Okay, we're going to start the next guy soaking. I'm just going to, generally, you only want to flip most things once, but especially since this is undercooking on both sides, we're just going back and forth with this little messed up one real quick. So, in my experience, generally, what you want to wait for, gotta wash my hand off again real quick before I pick up the camera, is if you could see there's a couple of them. There's spots where the batter kind of starts to push up through and the bread. And that's when you know it's ready to flip on the first side. Or you can see a little bit of smoke coming up. The batter almost starts to look like, whatchamacallit, pancakes. Oh, look at that. There might not be enough butter, but now that's perfect. Oh, it smells so good. This one's still a little undercooked. I have this, it's not cranked to max, but I'm pushing it cranked to max now. This piece is going to be done before that piece that's been cooking forever. I'm going to squish this down and flip this piece that's in here soaking. All right, so if you see any smoke coming off of it, you got to watch closely. But if you see any smoke coming off of it at all, that's when you know it's time to flip it. generally you get like an instinct for it with experience, but it's one of those things that is very much, I think it's too soft still. No, it's a little too soft, just barely. Like, I want that just a little more done on this side to match the first side. Let's see. Is this one good yet? Okay, I'm gonna say this first one's done. So we're going to take this guy right here. I don't have like any sides or anything, so we're just gonna put it right in the middle. That guy right there looks pretty done, maybe a little overdone in one corner, but it wasn't cooking evenly on there anyways. So we're gonna add our powdered sugar. Now really what you should do is have like one of those sifter thingies. I don't know what you're, if you've ever been oh, you know what I can do? I think this will work. Where is it? Will this work maybe? Use this. If you've ever been to the like a state fair or anything, and they have like the they have the what are they called? Funnel cakes and elephant ears. Usually get covered in powdered sugar towards the end, and they have the metal sifter thing that they just squeeze. I wish I had one of those. Ooh, I gotta flip this guy, don't I? He's gonna be done, huh? Oh yeah, that one's nice and done. We're gonna get the other side just a little more juiced up to match that. And the special ingredient that I added, which I've never used before, I went to Giant Eagle to get some half and half because I like their creamer better than Aldi's, and it's cheaper on top of that. And they had these special holiday finishing sugars that are limited edition, and I got this one, the chocolate hazelnut. Ironically, it's the only one that didn't say, oh, that's a lot. It's the only one that didn't say, it works for French toast on it, but it's also the one that I most wanted to try on French toast. So, that's what it looks like so far. The, whatchamacallit. Oh, this one smells way, way better. It actually smells like the egg is cooked this time, you know? Which I'm not sure it is on the other one. So if I do get sick, that it could just be that the egg was undercooked. No, I think it's more I need a little bit more spread. I think it's more just that it didn't cook as fast, because the other one sat on that skillet for a long time. So, oh no, this one's falling apart. I'm gonna unplug the skillet because I don't need that on anymore. It sat too long. This is the downside of using the cinnamon bread, right? It's very thin in certain areas because it's got those holes in the center. So yeah, this one's kind of a disaster. We're gonna have French toast bites, I guess. Well, that one sits there and sizzles. We're gonna go and put the powdered sugar on this guy. This guy is perfectly cooked, to be honest. It's way better than the first one. Doing it on the electric skillet was not the play. I feel like electric skillets are inferior 90% of the time. I'm not even sure when I would choose an electric skillet over something else. I just know 99% of the time I'd rather have just the good old gas stove. Oh! The fucking sifter flew off the top of the powdered sugar container, and now there's just it like did a catapult of powdered sugar all over the kitchen. Let's flip this guy. It's kind of almost holding together in its own weird way. Perfectly cooked on that side. So even though it's I can't get the one little piece that didn't flip with everything else. There we go. Even though it's a little bit of a disaster, it's looking good. It's a beautiful mess, we'll call it. Because that's what this whole kitchen is right now. A damn mess. All right, let's go ahead and dip the next one. This is the skinniest of them, but then it's followed by the thick one. So go ahead. We're going to use all this batter. It won't even go under the batter at this point. So I'm going to go ahead, sit that, and I'm going to flip it immediately and be more careful while I grab it this time. Ooh, it didn't flip exactly the way I wanted it. There are big holes in this cinnamon bread. Bigger than I'm used to. I can't fill these holes. Maybe your boyfriend can, but I can't. All right. So I kind of just want to set this one aside because it's going to ruin my presentation, you know? I'm going to take this, which was my breakfast sandwich plate that I haven't cleaned up yet. And we'll put this on here. I kind of want to taste test the chocolate sugar before I put it on everything, you know? Let's see if the other side's cooked. Yeah, okay. I'm going to say this one's well enough that even if it's not perfect, it's messed up enough that it doesn't matter. The main thing, dude, I can't get these individual pieces out of this pan because it's like they don't have enough weight to go on the spatula at this angle. There we go. I scooped them out. All right. So I'm going to throw this second to last piece in. Let's make sure we grip it from a better spot. It is absolutely drenched. Oh, wait. A little bit of oil. It seems to use it up between each one. So maybe if we were using regular butter instead of the spray, it wouldn't. But it does. All right. And then we're going to throw the heel in here. Well, let's get that away from this skillet. It's still going to be hot even though I unplugged it. So this heel is going to soak up every little remaining bit that it can. And you know what? Maybe I just organize this. I reassemble it and hide it. That's what we're going to do. And we're just going to not even bother. We're going to take the risk, put the chocolate sugar on it. I think really this is what we're going to do. We're going to put chocolate sugar on the batter on this one before we flip it. Because it's not really sticking. The powdered sugar sticks because it's kind of, oh, I can smell the chocolate hazelnut. Oh, that's good. The powdered sugar sticks because it's kind of thinner, you know, and it's lighter. Trying to figure out which piece went where. Reverse engineering a piece of toast that took itself apart. Was not okay. I got all the pieces to fit but this little one. So we're gonna use this as the taste test vehicle for the sugar. I'm not even gonna put the powdered sugar on it because I don't want to get the full taste yet. I put way too much sugar on this little piece of French toast. Let's see what it tastes like. Mmm. Yep. That was the play. It was the right sugar. It's just a hint of it. So, I don't know where to put. We're just going to keep putting the chocolate on the top. It looks best that way, right? So, time to make a mess with the powdered sugar again while we wait for that second side to cook. I'm not going to set it on the very top of something that causes the amount of powdered sugar I put in the sifter to just, well, it's technically a strainer, not a sifter. But yeah, I was like, did I remember to put the pinch of salt in? I did. But honestly, I think I could have used a bigger pinch of salt because there's like a sort of hollow flavor to that piece. It hasn't really brought out the flavor of the eggs or anything. I I never used to know what something that was undersalted tastes like until I became a line cook and had a really good one. I had some friends that taught me a whole lot, both from the same family, good friends. One of them was one of my longest time friends from high school. Grew up with, well, middle school actually was kind of when we all started hanging out, but I didn't go to the same middle school as them. I went to the Catholic school. They all went to the public school. I'm just trying to get this last heel to soak up all the leftover batter right there. It's going to be, one, it's a thick boy to begin with, but two, it's going to be a thick and juicy boy. Now, I'm probably going to turn the heat down a little bit for this one just to make sure it cooks through. But, yeah, I think that's about all the absorption I'm going to do. I'm going to have it sit on the back, though, so it sinks in a little bit to that harder heel section. All right, let's flip this guy real quick, make sure he's good. He needs a little bit more, but also it's a little dark, so I think I need a little more butter on that side. All right, we're gonna put this one. Where's the lid for it? How did I lose the lid for the spray? Okay, I'll just set that aside for now. We'll find that later. Probably when the fucking catapult shit sent things everywhere. Oh, yeah, there it is. It's on the ground. Fortunately, the important parts weren't touching the ground. All right, then for the last one, we're going to try the coconut avocado spray with safflower. I don't even know what the fuck safflower is. I don't like avocado, but I do like coconut. And to be fair, I've never tasted the avocado in that, so I'm not too worried about it. All right, this guy should be done now. Yeah. The one spot is a little brown, but I'm not worried. Perfect. You can't even see the one that is messed up. So before I finish the garnish, we're gonna, I love how it's like high smoke point. That was the first thing I noticed about this. It says high smoke point, but to be honest, if you can't tell, this smokes way up easier than like canola oil does. I don't know what the smoke point of this is, to be honest. Does it even tell you? Someone Google the smoke point of canola oil spray, and tell me what it is in the comments, please. Freshness state on bottom. I'm just curious. Okay, apparently this is kind of out of date. I didn't really know that cooking spray could go bad, but I guess it can, right? So maybe if I get sick, it's from the can of cooking spray. Is this one good? Both of these were inherited from my parents, so this explains this. Both of these cooking sprays are out of date. So next time I go to the store, I got to get cooking spray. Fair enough. Just move around that, make sure it's nice and spread out. And then we throw this last thick boy in there. I can already smell the coconut. Okay, so that's the last of it. We used, my phone is just covered in powdered sugar. We used almost all the batter. There's just that tiny bit left. The eggs will get sticky and shitty though, so we're just gonna throw some water in there, and we'll clean that out afterwards. Now, I'm gonna turn the heat down a little bit on this thick boy so that it can cook through without burning. We're going to, I think I probably still have enough powdered sugar left in the sifter, or the strainer, which has become a makeshift sifter. You know what I wish I had right now? Strawberries. I don't even know why, but I feel like strawberries would go great as a garnish for this. I was never super great at plating. Okay, I think that's all the powdered sugar we need. We can put the rest that will go back, because there's like a lip that it's catching on, back in there. Throw this in the sink later. Put the powdered sugar away. I am probably gonna flip the thick boy a couple times just to make sure that it cooks through without burning one side, since he's super thick, like twice as thick as all the other ones. I guess I probably could have cut it, right? But I didn't. My phone's getting kind of warm. It's too close to that heat source. All right. Then we add the chocolate. All right. And I am just going to go right ahead and add this guy. If it'll open, holy shit, it's jammed shut. Oh, no, that is the right side. I thought I was opening the wrong side. This is a little bit out of date too, which makes sense why it won't open. I can just spin it off, I guess, but no, then that doesn't get the effect I want. There we go, I got it off. All right, so that tip's wider than I want it to be, but I can still probably do it. Let's see. I feel like I definitely need something as a garnish, but I don't know what. All right, you guys ready to see the finished thing? The finished, what the fuck do I call it? Dude, I want to eat this so bad. It looks so good. This is our finished French toast. Can you see that? Yeah. Oh my God, dude. I'm so ready to destroy all this. I'm probably gonna put more syrup on it, to be honest. I kind of drench it in syrup, but that was just for the whole garnish effect, kind of. I think I got a little too much on the plate to the point where it's pooling, you know? There should have been less on the plate, and it kind of should have been lines. But it's been a very long time since I made things look fancy that people were going to eat, you know? And it's definitely one of those skills that you kind of lose. Now, normally I don't ever squeeze most things because you don't want to squeeze the juices out. But there's like two exceptions. One is when something is unusually thick or it's like bubbling, not bubbling, but it's like expanding. I've had burgers that I don't think were prepped right. So you put it on the grill and then instead of just like cooking normally, it kind of like starts to take like a football shape. You want to press that guy down just because it's not gonna cook right on the temps. The other time is if someone wants it in a hockey puck steak, you know. For burgers, it doesn't bother me as much when someone wants something well done, because burgers can't have E. coli all throughout them or other things, right? I always get my burgers medium well. I like my steaks medium generally, but the burgers I gotta go medium well. But if someone wants their burger or steak well done, you can either squeeze it with the spatula a little bit or put a press on it. Like in the restaurant, we had these just like metal plates with a little handle on them that would stay on the flat top. So if you needed to press something either to speed it up or because like one guy ordered a well done steak and the other guy ordered a rare steak at the same table, you drop the press on the well done steak so that they'd be able to come out at the same time, you know? All right, I think this guy, maybe the temp's a little too low because it's not really browning anymore. I'm squeezing it hard though, and I'm not getting any liquid. So we'll give it like another 2 seconds. While we're waiting for that, I don't know why, but kind of like all my rubbery silverware like that has the same like weird kind of like, it looks like soap residue all over it. But whatever. All right, let's take a little taste. Wait. I'm going to pause the video for a sec so I can take a picture. I want a picture of this because it looks so good. Okay, picture taken. Let me go ahead and just cut off a little corner of this top piece here. Oh, I'm so excited for this. I'm gonna dip that in that puddle of syrup. Mmm. Oh, it's perfect. It's actually perfect. The only thing I wish is that it was hotter and I'd eaten it right out of the pan instead of talking to you guys. So, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this guy right out of the pan, the thick boy. He smells a little different because of the coconut oil. we're going to, we can turn this off now, I think. Is the heat off? Yeah, the heat's off. Turn this off. That's the wrong thing. We kind of want the light still. All right. So I put the powdered sugar away already. Son of a bitch. And I put the sifter in the sink. So we're not going to be able to sift this one. We're just going to have to kind of powder sugar it by hand from the bag. It's not going to be as pretty looking, but we already got the picture, so it doesn't matter, right? At this point, it's just about getting the sweetness on there. Honestly, the clumpy powder sugar kind of gives it a little bit of charm. I maybe like this better. Look at the clumpy powdered sugar. Let me know whether you like the clumpy powdered sugar or the sifted powdered sugar better. We're gonna throw the chocolate sugar on. I don't think I put enough of the chocolate hazelnut sugar on, actually. I can't even really taste it. So, gonna drench the shit in it right now. Part of the reason I wasn't putting a lot is because it doesn't really stick the way the, it'll stick to the syrup though. So let's put the syrup on first. I gotta be careful that I don't have it overflow off the plate because it's stuck again. There we go. Oh God, I can smell the chocolatiness. Oh, you know what I need to do? I just needed to throw the chocolatey sugar on there immediately. What I should have done, I did it backwards of the way I did it with the third one, or do it backwards of the way I did it with the third one, right? The third one, or was it the fourth one? I don't remember. You guys will know from watching it. That one, we put the sugar on while the batter was still wet. I'm adding more. I looked at how much is still left in the bottle. I'm like, this is the only thing I got this for. Although I have brownie mix that I want to try putting it on too. I don't know when I'm gonna do the brownies. I have muffins. I'm probably gonna do the muffins first, and I might put it on that. This is just gonna be my new favorite sugar. I'm gonna use all of it in like 2 weeks, and then I won't be able to get it again until next year. You know. Let's try the super thick coconut butter, the coconut cooking spray variation of it. See if it changed the flavor much. You know, I can't really notice a difference. It's there's just so many flavors that the coconut gets lost in it. So generally, I don't like to use the coconut cooking spray unless I want something to taste like coconut, you know? But I think it would be fine for this because there's so many flavors. That being said, both of those sprays are out of date, and so is this maple. So I'm just gonna leave these all on the counter so I remember to get new ones next time I go to the store. Because, like, honestly, these things are gonna last forever, and they're already bad. So I'm not gonna use them up anytime soon. I'm going to go stuff my face with this massive plate of French toast. And I will see you guys in the next one. I love all of you, and God bless America. Peace.